Ahoy folks, Craigo here for Pure Xbox, and firstly let me just wish you a happy new year. I hope you were showered with all of your wish-listed games over the holiday period. And secondly, I bring news. Backlogs beware, because January has games. So here I am to highlight 10 of those that are coming to Xbox in January that I think look pretty decent. First up on January 17th is Dynasty Warriors Origins. Whilst it's the newest entry in the franchise, it's being touted as a back-to-basics experience. Origins ditches that painful open world of its 9th installment for an overworld map and focused battle sections. Tactics takes center stage in this hack-and-slash romp through the late Han Dynasty that we all know so well. Lupu, anyone? Anyway, if tactics aren't your cuppa and you'd rather just turn your brain off and swing wildly, then Hero Mode has you covered. I enjoyed these games back in the day, so a return to basics sounds pretty appealing to me. In fact, why not try it for yourself? There's a demo available now on the Xbox Store. Yay for you! Praised by many as one of the better games in the Tales series, Tales of Grace's F Remastered is on next January release. Launching January 17th, this 2009 JRPG classic is getting the remaster treatment, complete with improved graphics, frame rates, and quality of life updates to match its grand adventure through Athenia. It's not a turn-based affair, the combat is fast-paced, but simple enough for you to master focus and dodging skills and combo foes into an early grave. It's a Tales game, so you sort of know what you're in for these days. On January 22nd, Ender Magnolia Bloom in the Mist finally comes to consoles with its version 1.0. Like its predecessor, Ender Lilies, it's been highly praised by PC gamers as a slick and satisfying Metroidvania platformer. The art style is gorgeous, the music is somber, the story depressing yet gripping, and the gameplay is a tight mix of side-scrolling action and RPG elements. It's great to see the devs celebrate an end to early access with a console launch. Woohoo for us! When I hear Aspire and Star Wars in the same sentence, I can't help but feel a little, cautious. Blame those Battlefront remasters, I swear. That said, the PS1 classic Star Wars Episode 1 Jedi Power Battles is back, remastered and improved, with 13 new playable characters to choose from. Local couch co-op is the only multiplayer option, which can either be a good or a bad thing depending on your perspective. I remember this game being a hecking fun romp, although hard, through Episode 1's story beats. So here's hoping everything goes smoothly when it launches on January 23rd. Next up is Armored Core's weeby cousin, Sinduality Echo of Ardor. From first impressions, this PvPvE mech extraction shooter looks pretty cool. Players enter the Sinduality universe as drifters, scavengers who collect AO crystals. Not to be confused with JO crystals, they're a very different thing, but you collect these crystals to make a living. Join open server missions, battle other drifters for those precious AO crystals, and extract like that satisfied chappy you will surely be after a successful mission. For me at least, Eternal Strands is easily one of January's most anticipated games. Launching on January 28th, this titanic-toppling action-adventure challenges players to think outside of the box when facing against these giant foes. The art direction is colourful and striking, and the gameplay looks ambitious. You can literally wield magic to rip chunks off walls and just hurl them at your massive enemies. Here's hoping that indie developer Yellow Brick Games can pull it all off, because I'm excited for this one, and I think you should be too. Next up is a different kind of Tales game, a ratty one. You'll be playing as a rat, exploring a wintry world and taking down your enemies in brutal combat. I haven't played a Tales of Iron game myself, but I can appreciate them for the visual feast they are. Tales of Iron 2 Whiskers of Winter is a new RPG adventure with punishing, Souls-like combat at its core. With its predecessor earning 8s and 9s out of 10, there's clearly something special here, and it drops on January 28th, so it's not long to find out. When you are the vilest man in history, it's only fitting then that we get to blast your ball off in Sniper Elite Resistance. Popping Hitler just never gets old, and deservedly so. The slow-mo, brain-busting gunfights of Resistance are coming to Xbox Game Pass on January 30th. I've always enjoyed the Sniper Elite games, and Resistance delivers much more of a muchness. With a new campaign set in World War II France, plenty of Nazis to kill, and that classic sniping goodness at its core, I'm sure we'll be sinking plenty of strategic gunplayed hours into this one. You know what? Sometimes it's just fun to play as a weird little guy. A weird little green guy with a star-shaped party trick. Gimmick 2 lands on Xbox consoles January 30th. And sure, I'm not a fool, it's not the biggest release of the year, but this puzzle platformer looks charming enough to consider. With clever puzzles to challenge your brain, upbeat tunes to just vibe with, an adorable little guy at its core, why not give it a shot? Hey, why not? If you haven't spent time with Citizen Sleeper, debatably one of the best indie games on the market, please change that. Carve out some time and dive right in. But if you've been keeping a watchful eye on its sequel, Citizen Sleeper 2 Starward Vector is shaping up to improve on its predecessor in a whole host of ways. Whilst it might not be everyone's cup of tea and bickies, Citizen Sleeper is a brilliantly written RPG with tabletop elements that drive its sci-fi narrative. In Citizen Sleeper 2, we'll return to the Helion system, but with a brand new location, new characters, and a new sleeper to plot along as. I'm genuinely hyped for this one, and I think you should consider giving the first one a go if you haven't already. Oh yeah, and Starward Vector caps off the month with a release of January 31st. Oh, and one last bonus game is the Exit 8. It was released on January 9th, so it's already out, and it may not look like much, but this looping puzzler rewards a keen eye for spotting what's amiss. I wanted to highlight it because it's cheap, and I personally really like it. The goal is simple: walk through the corridor successfully 8 times to reach the exit. It sounds easy, right? But slight differences in the shape of anomalies might show up on each run, so stay alert, otherwise you'll be trapped in the bloody subway for good. I promise it's fun stuff, honestly. And there you have it, 11 games to kick 2025 off with in January. Are you planning to pick any of them up? Let me know your gaming plans in the comments. As always, thanks for watching, and all that's left to say is bye-bye for now. Cheerio!